Coming up next on MASL Primetime, Ian Bennett and the Milwaukee Wave were looking pretty as the champs launched their title defense, but the goalies were showing they've got just as much offensive punch as the forwards. Case in point, San Diego Soccer's all-time scoring leader Craig Childs joins me to talk about his career and the start his squad has had this year. And two new teams made their debut in Week 2. We've got all the coverage for you. Coming up next on MASL Primetime. This is MASL Prime Time. Welcome back, everybody. I'm Alex Bastiavansky, and there was a ton of excitement last weekend in the Major Arena Soccer League as two new teams made their debut on the schedule. Now, one hails from the great state of Texas, the other from a much more northern climate, and let's start with that team today. The Rochester Lancers, who really had a baptism by fire last Friday in their MASL debut as they faced powerful in-state rivals Utica City. Now call it the I-90 Derby, call it the Battle of New York. These two cities are just 2 hours down the road from each other and should have an intense rivalry for years to come. The Rock Dome was packed in the Flower City as the Lancers kicked off their MASL season. Game highlights in this segment are brought to you by Mitre. Mitre is the official soccer ball of the Major Arena Soccer League, and the Lancers last played in the MASL back in 2015. They took some time off, but are back, and the fans were pumped for their first game. Over 3,000 at the Rock Dome. Unfortunately, Utica decided to spoil the party. Just 2:07 in, Moises Gonzalez. This guy had quite the weekend. Rips it home to open the scoring. 1-0 UCFC. Just 30 seconds later, they make it 2. Juros Momic on the doorstep bangs it in to make it a 2-goal advantage for Utica. Late in the first quarter, though, the Lancers get their first tally of their reborn MASL existence. Matt D'Amico cutting the deficit in half. It's 2-1. Second quarter, duck for cover if you're a Rochester fan. This thing got ugly. Gonzalez, the sweet little header at the side of the net. Second of the day for Moses. That makes it 3-1. Soon after, Christian Segura plays the bounce off the boards and smacks it past Christian Esposito. 4-1 for the visitors. Just over 3 minutes later, Rochester can't clear it away. Momic burns them. His second of the day. Everyone was getting in on the act. 5-2 City. That's when Moises Gonzalez really took control. He already had 2 goals at this point. Boy, did he add to that total. This was the nicest. Crushing it past Esposito, and then soon after he victimizes the keeper again to make it 7-1. So the day didn't quite go Rochester's way, obviously, but they still were in great spirits despite the blowout. Soccer Sam thanking fans after the game. Utica defender Jake Schindler had some advice for the Lancers.
It's not going to come overnight. You know, listen to Doug. Doug's probably played 1,000 indoor games in his life. He's going to be your best teacher. Look to your veterans and watch a lot of film.
San Diego visiting Tacoma, and the Stars started with a bang.
He's going to lob this ball forward for Ramos. Ramos flicks it past Porto and scores! Mike Ramos with the first goal of the Tacoma Stars 2019-2020 season.
And Ramos getting it started for Tacoma, but the Sockers get it back off a fluky one. The ball ricocheting off 2 Tacoma players, and ouch. Travis Pittman getting credit for it, 1-1. Craig Childs will be our Skype guest later in the show. He had a game. Second quarter, Childs, the one-time perfection to beat Danny Waltman. His first goal of the season, but he soon had a second off a sweet solo effort here, dancing past 2 defenders. The finish. He makes it 3-1. San Diego, and you knew last season's MASL MVP Nick Pereira would get involved. How's that for a finish? Nice volley. 3-2. Second half, newly acquired Slava Jubaparipovic paying off already, making it a 2-goal San Diego advantage. Fourth quarter, Brandon Escoto, first-team MASL All-Star last year, makes it 6-3. It finishes 7-3 as the Sockers getting back on track after dropping their opener. Tacoma's Nick Pereira, not concerned though. He knows his squad will eventually shake off the early season rust.
The reality is it's the first game of a very long season, and every team in this league is struggling in their first games. So it's just about getting back on the field, getting ourselves confident, and going after it again.
Okay, let's take a look at the MASL points leaders through 2 weeks of play, and Edgar Gonzalez continues to lead the way from the Monterey Flash, followed by Kristen Segura, Miguel Vaca, who had a tremendous week too, Brian Aguilar, Adrian Gutierrez, and Damian Garcia rounding out your MASL top scorers after 2 weeks.